Hi all, it's Maureen here, Stitch Mac, and we are back for another floss tube, talking about cross stitch. That's it. Sorry, I'm just going to turn you around a bit, because, yeah, that's better. Yeah, so we made it to the end of February. It's February the 26th. I've been on holiday all this week from work, yay, which has basically involved stitching, knitting, dog walking, eating. That's pretty much been it. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go over what I did in February. I don't know where I'm looking at here. I always get confused. I think I'm looking over this one. Sorry. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day today. We were actually out walking today, and we all had our like big winter coats on. Now everybody was in the park going, "Oh, it's actually like quite nice. Spring is on its way. There's snowdrops, some daffodils just about coming through. Oh my god." And we're in lockdown for like another 2 months. That was the other exciting news this week. Well, maybe not complete lockdown, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But the only bit I was listening to was that hairdressers weren't opening for another 2 months. I mean, Jesus God. Thank God I'd done it at the last haircut. I'd like, just in case, we'll go short. So no hairdresser, no gym. I'm really missing the gym, even though I'm a wee fat. I like a gym. I like going to the gym. It's actually motivating. Missing the gym, missing that, and missing people, other people. Just want to be able to go meet my pals. Because my pals live outside South Ayrshire and I'm not allowed to leave South Ayrshire. Anyway, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe this summer will be slightly less strenuous and maybe I should get out. Anyway, enough talk about that. It's a sunny day. Right, so for February, I'm just going to kind of pick. None of these are done in any particular order. It's just what I've been working on this month. So, first piece I'm going to show you was a whip go called, the two numbers are called from whip go, pulled both two full coverage pieces. Jeez, I need to win the lottery and get a facelift. Or lift you up better. No, that's not making sense, but I don't know why I lift it up. You should always look down, shouldn't you? Never look up because... Anyway, sorry, I'm digressing again. What was I saying? Yeah. Two full coverage pieces for my whip go. So the first one I'm going to show you was my Cartographica XL charted by Tilton Crafts. I don't think it's still available. It's ginormous. Oh, right, yeah. And I'll also say though, and also worked on this as part of Full Coverage Fanatics Big Strides Weekend because it was on your biggest piece, and this is definitely my biggest piece. It's like 69 pages. I think I'm on page 3. I might have made it onto page 4 by now, but I'm not sure. So, da-da, I'm not to... Hang on, if I take it. I can take this little... Oh. So I'll show you, because that's it. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's like the top corner of I've been working. So essentially what I did this time round was work on this bit and down here. There was lots and lots of part threads because prior to, over the last year or so working on this, I was doing it off of paper. It was a nightmare. It took for ages, but now it's on Pattern Keeper. So the speed at what this is like gold, just changing, everything changing for this. It makes such a difference for this piece. It took me so long to do like from there all the way down, whereas like that didn't hardly take me any time at all. So essentially I just filled in this. That's the last bit, that compass, and then so I was just working the part threads. I literally just worked them and ran down and just, you know, randomly went in and did a bit kind of fill in and filled in a bit here. Yeah, I kind of started on this side and did this bit and filled in these bits and then got bored and then was like, oh, okay, these part threads are annoying me, so I'll just get rid of them all. So that's what I did. So, yeah, pretty pleased with that. I don't think I've got this out again this year. But we'll see how it goes. So that was one of the whip go piece. The other piece is in another bag, so I'll get that in a minute. So I also work on, this year I'm planning to do I want to get the stitching finished on this straightaway. I feel like a broken record for this. I think I say that every year. This year I'm going to finish the stitching, but this year I'm actually making progress on this. I have a plan and I'm sticking to it. I know I'm only in February, but I'm ahead of myself. I know there's like, I'm doing all the kind of last three, the border, there's a little bit of buildings and then the border, and I've split it into 12, there's like 12 bits. I can work in one piece, so I'm ahead of myself So, a huge, ginormous piece. This is stitched on, I think it's just a piece of this linen. And every time I use it, I go, oh God, I hate linen. Why do I hate linen? It's very nice, it looks really nice, but it's not so much fun to stitch on. And I keep looking at pandemic, I keep wanting to start pandemic. And I keep going, oh, I could get some really nice 40 count linen, and then I'm going, no, don't do it to yourself, Marie. You'll remember that you don't like it. So, I don't know where I've showed you last time, but anyway, January was this bit up here. Yeah, January was this bit up here, these wee bits here. And then, so February, I only had to complete this. So that's like 1, 2, 3, and then there's like another bit there, 4. And then we start again. So, February, I only needed to complete this bit. And I got way ahead of myself because I was still, it's some of the same thread, actually just continuation down. Sorry, so I just carried on down. So this is what I need to do in March. But this actually stitches up really, really quickly because this is just cross stitch. There's a little Algerian eyelet. Sorry, I keep showing it from the back as if you can see through. There's a little Algerian eyelet. Otherwise, it's just cross stitch. So it's really quick, these bits. Yeah, so I'll get that done in March and hopefully maybe try and get that done in April. And then I've got that bit down there because I think I've done one side. Have I done one side? Yeah. I've completed. Yeah. I've completed one corner. I've got one more bit to do. No, sorry, 3 more bits to do. But yeah. And again, yeah, this is all just, I think this is all just cross stitch, or maybe just like, oh, there's a little bit of satin stitch, so nothing too strange. So I should get that done in March. I'm going to pause you for a wee second. Right, so I put that stuff away, got some more stuff. Then the postman came and I was trying to intercept him before the dog went, didn't really work. Anyway, so we're back. So, next one I'm going to show you is my focus piece for the year, which I'm using, yeah, I suppose I'm using it from a full coverage, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Full coverage Fanatics 21,000 in 2021. Excuse me. Been very sneezy the last few days. I wonder if it's spring has sprung in Broome. Anyway, yeah, so this is Captive, Heaven and Earth, Marta Dalek, mini Captive, sorry, to be precise. And this is stitched 32 count, 2 over 1 full cross. So I have a face. I have a gorgeous face. So yeah, so I plan again to get this stitched this year. As long as I do 2,500 stitches every month, I should finish it by November. But I'm actually, no, I was ahead of myself in January because January was there was a lot of black, there was a lot of block colours. Which was good because there was a lot of confetti. Yeah, so in February there was a lot of confetti. So I think I had to get to 56,000 stitches, and I think I'm kind of near the 56.5, 57. So I'm pleased about that because in March I'll just move across. I just kind of carried on and went up round her hair. It kind of just fitted in with the way I was stitching. And then I'll go across in March. That'll be quite nice. Easy kind of stitch. But yeah, I'm about 77% or something like that. So I'm really enjoying it. I've just been working on it. I'm like doing kind of what I can, and then maybe doing a few hundred stitches and then working on something else and a few hundred stitches just so to keep it going. But I never really want to stop doing it. It's quite good. I'm enjoying just keeping at it. So the next piece, what am I going to pull out? Oh, this was the other one that was called on my whip go, which was my poppy panel, which is from Whippy Cat on Etsy. And she has gorgeous stuff on there. It's gorgeous stuff. Obviously it's in colour, but I don't have colour print. So red peppers. Red poppies. It's actually called red and yellow poppies with grasshopper. I don't know where the grasshopper is. So yeah, kind of self-explanatory. So I was aiming to do 1,000 stitches for that from my whip go, and I think I went over that. So yeah, so I managed to finally fill in the dreaded, I think this is 1/1 on 28E's account. And there was a lot of it's either 3752 or 3753, whatever colour it is, it's practically identical to the actual fabric. So that was a joy, but thankfully that's it. I'm done with that. We're now working down onto the green, so all I did was fill in kind of green all around those edges, and then I just did the outline of the plant underneath, the flower, poppy. And that way I can just fill in as I go. You know, it's quite a nice one just to pick up, and then you can just fill in a bit of green and fill in a bit of green, because there's a lot of green in it. There's a lot of green in it. But it's a nice little easy one. I'm not sure if I've got this out again this year. We'll see if I can find a reason for it, because I do like it. Next one. Oh, this was for Full Coverage Fanatics monthly challenge, which is a bookshelf, and this month it was romance. So I picked, what else did I pick from that? Cleopatra and Antony, a great romance. So again, I was just planning to do like 1,000 stitches on these. None of these are my focus pieces, it's just nice to work on them. So I ended up doing quite a bit more. I think I must have done a bit more than 1,000 stitches, because there's a lot of black. A lot of black. So I just realised still a needle in there, so I'll take it out because I'll forget about it. So yeah, that's a big one. This is actually what, it's not a mini or anything like that. It's actually a big one. Again, 28 count, but this is 2/1. So as you'll see, there's lots of black. So again, I think with pattern keeper, I just filled in. I kind of just went between. With the black, I just kind of worked down to where like the edge of it is, so I could just fill in the blanks. I like to do a fill in, and then just worked on random colours. Picked a colour and worked on it. And then worked a bit more on the back, and then another colour, a bit more on the back. And this here is actually like a little statue that's in the background. But there's a lot of black. So yeah, tends to do that, but again, it's not focus piece. It's just it's pretty. I like it. I didn't read the book this month. I think I'm so far behind in the books. I'm still reading Pride and Prejudice, I think, from January. So I finished that, and then I watched the TV series, because the BBC TV series, obviously, the Colin Firth one, Jennifer Eel, is on Netflix. So I sat and watched it. My husband's like, "Have you not watched this before?" And I was like, "Yeah, like in 1990." Whatever. I don't think I've actually ever watched it again. I would have watched it when it was on initially. But not since then. So I watched that. So this month, yeah, so also book wise I'm reading, what's it called? I'm in The Storm Sister. It's a series of books called Seven Sisters. It's by Lucinda Riley. Somebody recommended it to me, and it was really, so I've read the first one, and that was really good. It's a nice, easy read. It's about seven sisters. Their dad dies. They live in Switzerland. Their dad dies. They'd all been adopted, and on his death, he's now given them instructions as to how to find out like their background. So it jumps back to not their immediate background, but kind of back. So it's like a story, and then the present day story, and then old day story. And it's a nice, easy read. I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying it. So I think this is number 2. I've got number 3 and 4, because every time I'm at 99 pence, girl, if it's on sale at 99 pence, boom, buy it. I keep buying it. That's one thing when you go, actually, yeah, even though those all cost me £1, yeah, quite a lot. I still have like, I don't know, 100 on my wish list. I read so many books. I read about one a month. Never mind. It's choice. Yeah, so that is a good book if anybody's interested. Called Seven Sisters, Lucinda Riley. I'm enjoying that. So, but anyway, sorry. So next month, God, I ramble. Next month it is. I think it's mysteries. Yeah, it's mysteries. So I've got Rebecca. I already owned. I had already Rebecca. So I'll read it next month. I'm afraid this book. Anyway, right. So this next piece here I worked on. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. If you had smelly vision on now, you would know I was cooking dinner because I'm cooking sprouts and green beans in the kitchen. And I was like, yeah, okay, don't want them overcooked. Don't want an overcooked sprout. Excuse me. What am I doing? This one was one of the Whippy pieces from January, and I thought I would just continue working on it until another small has been called. It's quite a nice one just to kind of pick up every so often. So in January I got my goal done of finishing a little square. So I finished the rest of that side and I have started on this side. And this is called Ripples. It's by Spirit of Belarus, and I think it's still available on Etsy. And it's really simple. I mean, it's 10 stitch. It's just 10, there's one cross stitch in the middle and then it's 10 stitch. But you have to remember to go in the right direction. That's the secret. Because that's where I kept going wrong to start with. I hadn't really looked at it properly. If you go in the right, you know, it's in and out. And that's what makes it squirrely on the eyes. I love it. So this is just random pink stuff. I think it's like Gentle Arts or something. I say I don't really know. I just like, well, that's pretty pink. And that's some more pink there. Yeah. So I'll just keep working on it. I haven't had the numbers called. I haven't seen the numbers yet for March. If it's not small, well then I'll put it away and I'll work on the small. That's that. I think that's everything in the bag. On that, I've worked a bit more. I did some more Magani squares. I'm determined to get that. And I'm working on my sock. I think I showed you my sock. I'll show you. And I'm nearing the toe. I keep measuring because I'm like, my daughter was like, oh, I want a pair of socks. Can I have a pair of socks? And I was like, yeah, I'll be waiting to see how these socks turn out first. I went into neon socks. I was like, oh God, can I just out these and see how they actually, to be fair, there's more hole I think than there is sock in these, but this is an experiment. As they would say, it gets better. But I did find, I was watching, it was Caroline, Friday Off the Grid, and she was doing a tutorial for the sock. And she does the heel flap. She talks about doing the heel flap and the turn, and then it goes to gusset decreases. So I did all the heel flap, followed the instructions for that, and then went on and did the gusset thing. And I'm going, this does not look the same as what hers looks like. What's gone wrong? And I'm looking at the pattern and I'm going, hang on a minute, we've missed a whole bit out. And it turns out, and then when I was reading, so I went back to the video and I watched the video again. I'm like, no, she just talks about this turn, but I don't know what she was talking about. So if anyone else is following it, and then I went back to the comments, and yeah, somebody's noticed this in the comments. She's like, oh yeah, we've noticed this. There is another video, but you have to be in the group. And I've asked to join the group, but I don't know if the group even exists anymore. So I then had to do it. If you're ever doing it, I don't know if anybody, but there's another, you just have to remember to do it. I just found a tutorial for doing the heel turn. I managed to do it successfully. I was like so confused. I'm like, I didn't understand what she meant by heel turn. It's the first time I did a sock, and I'm like, this just doesn't look right. What is she talking about? 64. I've got far too many stitches on here. But it all makes sense now. So I'm working my way through, and gonna get onto the toe. So that's where we are, end of February. So March will be pretty much the same as this month. So March I'll carry on my captive and my chatelaine. That's the two pieces I'm doing every month. See what my Whipco is, see what comes out of that. Yeah, and that's it. Oh, and the full coverage fanatics, that it's mysteries, and it was to be like dark landscapes, midi things. So I'm doing my Northwood Farm, which is by, I think it's John Clayton Heritage Designs. And they're also doing history sprints And so I'm trying to match the theme in the count. I'm doing counting, but I'll pick the themes because Captive fits a couple of the themes and my Northwood Farm picks a couple of themes. So I think I'll do aim for 4. I think that's a really reasonable amount. Right, I'm away to make the rest of the dinner. Making steak. I'm doing steak and mash and veggies for hubby. And I'll make myself. I've made a Victoria sponge this week. So nice. And I made a quiche. Dead proud of myself. My daughter's like, you're really bored, aren't you? I'm like, no, I'm determined not to be bored. It's like, I don't do bored. Ever. I've always got a million things to do. Right. So I'm going to do that. Wait for my daughter's working today. Pick her up. Oh yeah, pick her up in about an hour. And then we're going to watch the end of my Married at First Sight Australia. If you've been watching it, you will know how good it is. I think I'm a few behind, so I've only got a few to go. It's been so good. It's like Love Island, but kind of like an older Love Island, kind of more grown up Love Island. It's brilliant. It's just so good. We're watching that, and I don't know if anybody else watched The Serpent. I finished it this month, and oh my god, that was amazing. If you get a chance, I don't know if it'll be on like Netflix or it's on BBC here, but I don't know if it's something to do with Netflix. Anyway, if you get a chance to see it. It's fabulous. It's so good. Jenna Coleman in it, so I'm not normally a fan. Well, no, I wasn't a fan of her in Doctor Who. That was just a character. But she's amazing in it, and the clothes and everything. I'm sure I've spoken to this, but it was before because it's just like I want to be that skinny. Her waist is just amazing. Yeah. So I finished watching it. And that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's my evening entertainment. Oh, actually, no, I've got family close tonight, so I might be a couple of bottles of wine and to get through that. But anyway, on that, I better go and get this dinner sorted or I'll be ruined. Right. Thanks for tuning in all. And I will hopefully be back. I'll probably be back in a month again. I'm not sure. I'll try and maybe do it in a couple of weeks. I'll aim to get back before the end of the month, maybe. But to be fair, it's easy to do it. I don't know. At least at the end of next month. Once a month is enough of me, I think, for anyone. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you to new subscribers. But if you're new, hi to anybody. Thank you very much for joining in. And thanks for liking and commenting and, you know, all that jazz. I'm starving now. I'm going to make myself dinner, I think. Right. Cheerio, bye.